Yeah, thanks all for coming. I know there's been a bit said in the last few days around JL's resignation, so I think it's the right time to talk about it. So happy to answer any questions.
You said that you needed a new style of coaching and a new skill set. So what is that style, that skill set that you want? And then secondly, you could also answer, what was it about Justin Langer that you thought he didn't have in terms of what you were hoping to get?
Yeah, I think, first of all, I don't want to go into too much detail. I don't think it's really fair for everyone. But I think in recent days, Cricket Australia's come out and said a few things. JL's said some things himself, so I feel like he's given me permission to say a couple more things than I probably perhaps first would have. But I think, this group looking forward, there's a few things that I think through the review process we really wanted and thought was important to get the best of our players. So that's, I think the players would benefit from a more collaborative approach. I think a big theme for this summer has been being more calm, more composed, and that's been really clear in the feedback from players, support staff and Cricket Australia, and I think that's the direction we want to take the team.
Can you say why you think Justin Langer couldn't offer you that?
Yeah, I think first of all, there's so many positives to what JL's brought to the table. He's a perfect man for the times. He did a fantastic job. Absolutely loved working with him. Thought he was brilliant. But I think some of these skill sets are a little bit different to perhaps his traditional coaching style. And I think he tweaked his coaching style in the last 6 months. He did a really, really good job. But we think it's now's the right time for a different direction, and it's a matter of opinion, but we think it's the right one.
Pat, you mentioned ethics in the statement, Pat, and how you want to move on with a team that's more ethical. Do those sort of ethics and the manners around the game include everything from ball tampering to sledging? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, of course. I think we've been really well schooled in the last 4 years by JL in how to conduct ourselves. He's got unimpeachable values, and we're really thankful for that for the last 4 years. He is brilliant. I think he's what we needed. I think he's made us better people, better players because of it. And now, I think we're really well versed in what that is. We know when we pull on the baggy green what that means, how we need to conduct ourselves. So absolutely don't want to lose sight of that. I guess for us it's making sure we uphold those standards. But in terms of the coaching style and where we want to take this team, I reckon a slightly different style is needed.
You said in your press release, to the effect that you needed to respect the process, which is understandable. But it's hard not to step back and go, if this is what the process delivered, the process could have been better, this could have been handled better. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's difficult. It's really difficult. I think, being in a public role is always going to come with some commentary and some scrutiny around the process. I know Cricket Australia wanted to run a thorough process and kind of give it its due course. So of course, I think, especially JL, if he felt like at the end of it he's hasn't been fairly treated, that's not on, and I hope we can learn from that. I'd say I don't think he should be surprised though. It's been 2 years of evaluations in our environment at Cricket Australia. It's probably pretty boring, but we get 360 reviewed all the time. So we get our strengths and weaknesses poked, prodded, always trying to learn on it. So I think it's become more public probably in the last week or two, but I don't think there's any big surprises. So I actually haven't really had much of it before, so it's actually been good to get it out of the way early in the captaincy. I knew when I took on the job it was going to come without its scrutiny, and so the last week's been good to know that I'll cop it, but I'm absolutely fine with it. I know a lot of it's come from the right place. We all want to do what's best for Australian cricket, the environment's great. As you said, we're just coming off a World Cup and Ashes. We're in a great spot. The environment's brilliant. So yeah, not lose sight of that.
If you're a batsman of any age